Coach head to GW this week. Just talk about the matchup with them and how we can kind of keep this win streak going.
Yeah, 2 road games this week, so we have our work cut out for us. But we got to take the momentum of Saturday night's game and result and use that momentum and carry that over to two tough places to play. All our attention is on GW. They took it to us last year up there, so we got our hands full. But it's another tough road game in the A10, what we all expect, and we got a lot of prepping to do, but we're excited to get it going.
DJ Williams, of course, transferred from Illinois last year. Another leading scorer. What have you seen from him? Kind of leading away from him.
Well, I've used this term a lot with a lot of players in our league. He's just such a versatile player. He can shoot it. He can really get to the rim, find ways to score. Draws a lot of fouls. So he's a guy that we're gonna have to pay a lot of attention to. But he gets guys shots and makes plays for his teammates as well. So he's a guy that could be a matchup issue. We got to make sure we're ready to guard him with specific matchups as well as a team, and just make it really hard for him. One thing I learned going through this last year, and of course this year, guys are good players. They're going to make plays. We just got to limit them, and we got to make it really hard, and over the course of a 40-minute game, just make it really, really tough.
Nolan, 6'2" guard, averaging 7 rebounds in conference play. What do you kind of see from his game? Kind of taking a step from last year too.
Yeah, he really hurt us last year. He made shots and made plays against us last year. I mean, we're very well aware of him, and we got to make sure that we don't let him just get easy ones early in the game to get a ton of momentum and get himself rolling. But he does a really good job of finding rebounds and loose balls and steals to help his team and get himself going. So. We got to be, we're aware of him with the scouting report already. We know what he did to us last year, so we definitely got to be ready for him as well.
Besides the guys he mentioned, what makes GW a tough matchup in terms of, you see their record, but they played some really close competitive games in conference.
Yeah, well, number one is they can score the basketball. They have multiple guys on the court that can hit threes, put it on the floor and get by you and create for each other. So anytime you play a team that have 3, 4, 5 different guys that can make plays, shoot it, and score it, it's tough to guard it. They run good stuff. They try to spread you out and take advantage of their favor of matchups. And then I think defensively they're getting better as the year's gone on. They're getting better and better at guarding, and that's why they've been in a lot of games and definitely capable of beating anybody in the league.
Talk about logging the games, and guys reading things. Are you starting to see the guys kind of pick up, intricacies as the game go, starting to make second reads on offensive sets and things like that?
Yeah, we're seeing a lot more carryovers as we talk about, carryover from the film session, carryover from practice to live action in games. I just think guys are understanding that this is something we need to do. Better carryover, understanding why we run certain stuff, what we're looking for when we're on the fast break, what we're looking for when in our motion game, and I think we're just getting better at it. Plus, it's experience like anything. Things that you emphasize as a coach, the guys take those emphasis and carry them over, and then just knowing as you play more and you get more minutes, you feel more comfortable and you see the game better, and you start logging the game, and that's where you get a lot more success.
Talking about last week, being honest with the guys, about something they need to get better at. If they get a second, they might have to run practice, or you might call it a bad play. But if a guy does good things like PJ has a game like he had, or Marcus, how do you maybe reward or positively reinforce some of those things in practice or in film?
Well, you call them out just like you do if it's a teaching moment. You make sure you reward guys that are doing things the right way. I'm really big on that. As much as I call them out when we're not doing it the right way, I'm real positive, and I call it out when they're doing great, because you should. That's the positive reinforcement we all love and we all want, and it makes you want to do it again. So I'm really big. After the game, I made a big deal of Michael Gilmore, of his just his response to this season individually. He's been unbelievable. Made a big deal about it because that could be somebody else on our team in the future. I made a big deal of PJ. What I was really impressed about on Saturday was the older guys excited for PJ. And, you know, I thought Marcus Evans and IV and DJ really were pumping him up throughout the game. And then after the game, like, you know, called him out about how well he played. And he had a lot to do with that result. So, you know, that positive reinforcement for me is one thing, but you're getting it from your teammates, that's even bigger. So, you know, we definitely saw that. But, no, we call it anytime there's a good pass, a great effort play, great communication on the court, our coaches know we call that out all the time. And I think that's the positive part of it.
Talk about Michael. One thing he said is he helps keep the guys loose. His presence. How important is that to have guys who maybe break the tension, maybe in a timeout, whatever the case may be, just kind of keep guys loose?
I think it's great because we all know what we want and how bad we want to get there. But there's the number one thing I tell the guys, the reason we do this is we choose to do this because it's fun. It's got to continue to be fun all the time. Let's be as competitive and as aggressive and tough on ourselves because we want a result, but let's make it fun. And I think Michael Gilmore brings that. He brings a looseness and he's enjoyable to be around. And, you know, right in the middle of something, he might throw out a rap verse or something like that. And he doesn't do it out of disrespect. He's in the place. He's in a great mood. And I think that carries over the guys that sometimes just drop the tension that's going on, the tightness, and be loose and enjoy that we're here.
You talk about that, you know, your practice today. What's the atmosphere like after we've strung together a couple of good games, a couple of wins, as opposed to after a loss? You kind of have to reel them in to focus on the next one, or is it kind of let's keep building?
A little bit of both. Sometimes you got to reel them in to lock in, but also, hey guys, what we're doing is working. We got to continue that. I think for me as a head coach, after a number of wins, is hold them to that standard they just set and start raising the bar even more. And I think that's important. I mean, that we want to get better than we were on Saturday. Well, it's my job to keep raising the bar and keep pushing them forward. But also for them to understand that you're doing things the right way, we got to continue to do that. But keep learning. And you can learn a lot even in wins, for sure.
Before the George Mason game, you showed the guys the Ian Boyd tip in from last year heading to that game. So I was curious, throughout kind of a long season, do you try to find different ways of motivation, little points you can pull for motivation? How do you approach that?
All the time. I'm up for motivational ideas all the time from our staff and even from our players, and different ways to get them really fired up and excited and locked in at the task at hand. And sometimes it's a tape from last year or clips like that, or it could be something that we saw, in other college games or the NBA or just life in general, things that motivate us in different ways. And, I don't think you live on that. You got to have internal motivation too. But I think 18 to 22-year-olds love that stuff, and that's the fun of it too, is doing some motivational things to get our guys fired up and have some fun with. So yeah, we try to do it all different angles all the time.
Watched the game last night?
Yes, I did. We grilled out. I watched tape most of the day. I was on the road recruiting. Got back, watched some tape, then watched the game with the family. Grilled out, and it was a great game. Some people didn't think it was. I thought it was a great game. It was. Two coaches with great strategies, and you saw come down in the last quarter. I thought it was good. Who says football has to be in the 40s and 50s to be good? So that was I thought it was pretty impressive.
What can you as a coach kind of take away from obviously a Belichick or McVay, kind of their approaches to such a highlighted game like that?
Well, preparation for sure. I mean, both teams knew exactly what they were always doing, and then making adjustments and getting the ball to players that could make plays. But what I thought about it was late in the game, like teams weren't choking, teams weren't out of sync. They were still trying to do what they have been doing all season long. That got them to the Super Bowl. And I think one team just did a little bit better than the other. I mean, Rams' offense wasn't as potent as most of the games this year, but they were still trying to make plays and doing what they do. And I thought it made for a great fourth quarter, which is all I ever want when it's a football game.
You talk about guys, starting to figure things out and growing. Usually now for freshmen, you can start to see light going off a little bit. Are you starting to see that with PJ and Keyshawn?
I've seen that all three of our guys, yeah, without a doubt. yeah, our three freshmen are helping us. They work really hard. As I tell freshmen all the time, the better you become listeners and carryover guys, the better you are as a freshman, and you pass other freshmen out, and you get more time. And I think our guys are doing that, which is really healthy for our program. And all three of them are great kids, and they really want to be good players at VCU. So they're listening. It doesn't happen overnight, and we also have seen that. And I always say your freshman year is ups and downs. It's how you handle the downs, and learn from them the most, and that's when you grow. And we've had a lot of freshmen around here have good, productive freshman year, but it based on listening and learning and great growth.
With Marcus Evans, I know he's not probably still 100%, but where do you see, I know he's a confident guy to begin with, but where is his confidence level, and how comfortable is he now with his body on the court?
Well, we're confident because his body's feeling better, and his recovery isn't as long. His soreness and so forth. So, even though he did cramp the other night, he said, this morning he got in the weight room and lifted and felt pretty good. I thought Saturday was one of his best point guard nights. I mean, the way he got off the ball and the way he had that ball hot early in the possession, throwing it off of ball screens and getting guys shots or having them opportunities to play in space, I thought it was huge. He did a great job of that. And, one thing we don't talk about all the time is his defense on the ball, guarding the ball up the court every single possession, wears a player out, but also wears a team out, and it doesn't get them in their offense smoothly. He's been doing an unbelievable job all year long, and I think he's continuing to do that at a high level. But I thought he played a really good game the other day, except for the cramps. That's part of it. That happens. We need him to continue to go forward with that mentality and still being really aggressive, because when he's aggressive, it makes his teammates aggressive.
And then someone else who battled injuries last year, Isaac, seems much more explosive this year than we've seen him, really flying up. What have you seen different with him?
Well, healthy. Healthy, he has two feet that feel a lot better than this time last year. He's a year stronger, a year more mature. He's so much more coachable than he was a year ago. I mean, part of it is a new staff trying to figure us out as at his place. He's just done a great job of getting himself to us, and he's had great success because he's had an unbelievable attitude and approach. And year stronger, year more mature, great attitude, and you see great things happening for him.